The St. Louis Cardinals offense explodes on the Nationals, plus an idea that makes so much sense, but there's no way the Cardinals are going to do it. I'll tell you what that is today on Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafford, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. You can follow me on X at JD Sports Radio. The podcast, its handle is LO_Cardinals. We're on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, plus hit that notification button so you know when the new episodes and shorts are posted. Also available on TikTok and Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. This is a show serving Cardinal Nation and giving the best fans of baseball all of the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode being brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. So the Cardinals offense had a little bit of fun today on Wednesday, depending on when you're actually listening to this. But on Wednesday, they put up 7 runs on 13 hits. And what's great about this is that at this point of spring training, it's not like minor league guys who are playing half the game and doing damage late in the games to make the stats for the team look better. This is like your regular lineup for the most part that is that is in there doing the damage. The players you expect to see riding around on the warning track on opening day that are playing most of the time now. And they came out swinging the lumber in a big way on Wednesday, and it all started with the top of the order where Lars Nootbaar was batting leadoff again, with Masyn Winn out for a second consecutive day with a sore wrist. Now, we did get an update on what's going on with Masyn Winn. The sore wrist doesn't appear to be anything major. Apparently, he was taking swings on the backfields today, and they are hoping to have him available on Friday when the Cardinals have split squad games against the Astros and the Matz. So it appears there's no major issues. He's going to be fine, but they're being a little cautious right now. Near the end of spring training. They don't want this to linger into the regular season, and then you really have an issue. So the folks who want to see Lars Nootbaar bat leadoff are going to get a little bit louder. You're going to start hearing them chirping a little bit more after today's performance, where Noot was solid again, man. 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Noot's OBP in spring training is now pushing towards 500. He's at 480 behind only Willson Contreras. Now, leadoff hitters, as you probably know, can play a crucial role in setting the tempo for an offense, right? The old school days when you had Vince Coleman, Lou Brock, you had these guys, these speedsters batting leadoff, stealing bases and causing havoc on the base paths. That's great, right? But the most important thing that they can do is just get on base. Just be out there on base in front of the sluggers behind you. That is your number one job. You bat leadoff. You're one of the guys that you want to take a lot of pitches, see what the guy's working with. That way you can pass it down to the rest of the lineup. There are simple things that you need to do as a leadoff hitter. Leadoff hitters aren't necessarily supposed to be attacking the ball or ambushing the first pitch or two. You want to make the guy work a little bit, see what he's doing out there. So Nootbaar, a very patient hitter. So it makes a lot of sense for him to bat leadoff. And when healthy, Lars Nootbaar not only takes really good at bats and makes pitchers work, but he gets on base consistently. He was the leadoff hitter for Team Japan at the WBC a couple of years ago. When they won the whole dang thing, they realized what special talents that Lars Nootbaar had and had him hitting in front of guys like Shohei Ohtani, Yoshida, who else? Murakami, who's a guy that, he might be the next big Japanese guy that's going to come over to Major League Baseball at some point. I guess he'll be a Dodger. That's what they all do, it seems like now. But Noot was good enough to bat leadoff for the WBC champs for the whole country of Japan. Why not for the Cardinals, right? Why does Masyn Winn, when he's healthy, have to bat leadoff? Doesn't have to. They can move things around. It's okay. And again, something Ali might toy with. He might do that at some point, but I think Noot batting at least in the number 2 spot instead of Donovan might be the move as well. Even if that isn't like, if he doesn't bat leadoff, they want to put Winn up there and that's just what they want to do. I would still like Nootbaar to be in that number 2 spot and have Donovan batting a little bit lower. And to my surprise, actually, when I was going through stats for Lars Nootbaar and I was looking up like how many games and at-bats he's had at different positions in the lineup, actually started more games as a leadoff hitter. To me, it felt like he was always lower in the order more often, but the stats don't lie. In his career in the top spot, that's where he's had the most games, the most at-bats. He's a 262 hitter, 358 OBP, so it's not like he's Ricky Henderson or something up there. He's also put up strong numbers in the lower portion of the lineup when he's batted there. But again, it all comes down to health, really, for Nootbaar. Stay on the field, get in a groove. Usually he's pretty darn good. But it was another strong day for him. And the fact that he's doing what he's doing and he looks healthy and he looks motivated and he's having a good time out there, good news for Cardinal fans. Willson Contreras was in your number 2 spot today in the order, and he was DHing today, not playing first base, but he continues to tear the cover off the ball, going 2 for 2. Got hit by a pitch, which he wasn't so pleased about. Also got a run and an RBI. He's now hitting .412 this spring. .412 with an OBP of .512. Slugging .588. He's got that OPS at 1,100. With the weight and the burden of being a catcher no longer on his shoulders and on his plate every single day. And if he can stay healthy, which we think he will be able to, at least have a better chance at doing that as a first baseman, there's the potential to see some outstanding numbers from Willson Contreras this season. There really is. And there's been nothing so far this spring that has said otherwise. Like, he looks like he's having a blast not being a catcher anymore. So that's good news for the Cardinals and Cardinal fans. One of the catchers replacing him behind the plate this year is Ivan Herrera, and his bat remains hot. He goes 2 for 4 today. He hits his 5th double of the spring along with an RBI. And if you like Willie's numbers, you're going to love what Herrera's done at the plate so far. He's now hitting .379 for the spring. He's driven in 8. His OPS is at .474. Slugging at .724, and his OPS is at 1.198. And as much as pitchers for the Cardinals might prefer to throw to Pedro Paz behind the plate, I don't know how you can take this bat out of the lineup. I get a lot of guys and gals on Twitter that, are like, he's got to start. He's got to start. And I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. 50-50 split, it just cannot happen unless somehow, some way, Pedro Paz ends up becoming a much better hitter. Because Ivan Herrera's bat, I mean, he's smoking the ball right now. And it needs to be an 80-20 type of split. It really does. It's just got to be. You cannot take that bat out of the lineup the way he swings it. You just can't. You just can't. It's too valuable. And you're just going to have to live with the deficiencies behind home plate as far as running and stuff, like, as throwing guys out, keeping runners close. Just going to have to put up with it because Herrera's bat is just too valuable for a team that needs offense. Nolan Arenado had an RBI-based knock in the first inning as well as a walk in this one. Still not where you wish he would be, but took a couple of good at-bats today, so that was nice. Brendan Donovan had an RBI rip to center field in the 4th inning. Nolan Gorman had an RBI double off a left-hander, mind you, which, tends to be his kryptonite, hitting off of left-handers, but was able to pull one down the line in right field in the 7th inning. Did not strike out again today. So we haven't seen the long ball from Gorman that we're used to. That's his bread and butter is power, hitting home runs. Haven't seen that so much yet this spring. He's only got 1 home run so far, but he does have 4 doubles, and he's putting the ball in play. And as long as he's putting bat on ball, I'm guessing the home runs will eventually come with that. Can't hit it over the wall when you don't hit it at all, right? So he's done a significantly better job at putting the ball in play. He's cut down on these strikeouts, and hopefully that's going to lead to better results down the road. Alec Burleson, Victor Scott II, they each smack their 3rd home runs of the spring. Burleson's was an absolute tank in the 3rd inning, 417-footer 104.4 off the bat. I think it hit the moving truck. They had a truck out there in right center field at Roger Dean Stadium, which I'm guessing is loading up stuff that they're going to need for St. Louis. And I believe it hit the truck, which was like backing up at the time. I don't know if it was beep, 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 backing up, but I'm pretty sure it hit the truck out there. But it was a no-doubter. He crushed that one. Loves to hit off right-handers. Is really good at it. Then you had Victor Scott's coming in the fifth inning. No cheapie either at 106 off the bat, estimated 400-footer. Wasn't the high home run that Alec Burleson's was, but it was a line shot over that right center field wall. Jose Fermin and Lucan Baker each had hits as well. Fermin's been on a bit of a heater recently. It was just a good day. It was a good day to be a Cardinals hitter, that's for sure. But back to the Victor Scott stuff. The center field position is something that is really starting to become complicated. You know, there's a lot of chirping and yelling going on online about what needs to happen with the center field position. And I have an idea of what to do, but I don't know if you're going to like it. I don't think the Cardinals are going to like it at all, but I'm going to talk about it next on Locked On Cardinals. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, Supply House offers you the expert support and industry-leading service so that you'll always talk to a real person, which is chef's kiss when you actually get a human on the line to help you out with things, and that's what Supply House gives you. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line. You get free shipping and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM or start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Now, there's nothing better than catching an MLB game live, right? You know, you got the crack of the bat. You got the crowd, the roar of the crowd when good things happen, the smell of the ballpark food. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for some brats and hot dogs and stuff. And if you're looking to go last minute to a ball game with the regular season coming up, Gametime makes getting those tickets easier than ever. With last minute deals, all-in pricing, and a lowest price guarantee, Gametime takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices, they drop as Gametime gets closer, meaning you can score incredible deals on fabulous seats. Gametime is the official ticket partner of Locked On, and as opening day approaches, you know you can count on that to get the tickets that you need to meet where you want to be and what you want to see and how you want your experience for opening day to be. One of the great features is the Gametime Picks feature, which makes finding the best deals effortless. It just filters out all the fluff and highlights the top discounts in the stadium. I love that you can preview exactly where you're sitting in the stadium, because some stadiums, I'm familiar with Busch Stadium, but when you go to other games and other stadiums, sometimes you're not exactly sure where you're supposed to be. There's no bad surprises with Gametime map when you get to the stadium, because they'll show you exactly where your seat is and what your view is going to be. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leave your comments on YouTube as well as on X anytime you want. Your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. I appreciate all of you who join me during the games, and we're talking back and forth about what's going on with the game. It's a lot of fun. It's going to get even more fun when the regular season starts, so not too far off. The Cardinals have a very odd problem right now before we get to opening day. They've made promises. They've made promises about certain things to certain players instead of just letting stuff kind of play out this spring and taking the best 13 position players with them for opening day against the Twins on the 27th. And when I say promise things, I'm talking about this runway stuff that they've brought up multiple times. You've heard the term over and over and over, that they want to give the younger players in the organization runway to succeed or fail at the major league level. And they're really just talking about Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker, because the runway for Michael McGreevy to be in the rotation appears to be blocked. You've got 4 veteran pitchers and Andre Palante. Right now, everybody's healthy. Nowhere for Michael McGreevy to go. He can't even get on the runway yet. That's why you've heard this, talk about maybe a 6-man rotation being something that they tinker with. We'll see. Not that Thomas Sajaci was having some outstanding spring, but he's blocked by the front office's inability to get a trade done involving Nolan Arenado. They had one. He vetoed it. They couldn't figure out another one, and he's still here in a Cardinal uniform, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm really not. I'm just saying they were unable to get that done. That was what they were trying to do, and it didn't happen. They failed. And now another younger player has his runway blocked. Not by a veteran, really, but by a combination of this inability to get the Nolan Arenado trade done and Jordan Walker. And that guy is Victor Scott II. Now, last year, Victor, if you remember, he made it onto the opening day roster out of necessity, not because they thought he was ready. They didn't want to rush him up to the major leagues after having that really big year at AA. And it showed. He was clearly overwhelmed by the quality of major league pitching in that first stint that he was up with the club. They didn't want to go with Ciani because they weren't exactly sure what they had in Michael Ciani last year. Remember, we didn't even know who the guy was, really. But Tommy Edman was hurt. Dylan Carlson was hurt. Lars Nootbaar was hurt, to start the year. So it was like, all right, well, Victor Scott, he's an exciting young player. Let's give him a shot. We'll do that before we hand things off to Michael Ciani. And Victor didn't do much, right? Hit under 100 while he was up on the big club. And then he didn't do much at AAA last year either, hitting only 210 with Memphis. But at the end of the season, he made some adjustments, came back up to the Cardinals, ended up hitting 244 with them over the final 23-game stretch. It wasn't great, but it was better. It was an improvement of what he looked like at the beginning of the season. And now, when you look back at it, you're like, okay, well, now he's got almost a full year of AAA under his belt. He's had a taste of the major leagues. He knows what it's all about. And he took that knowledge and that information and brought it with him into spring training this year and has been sensational all spring long. Hit a dinger today, now hitting 359 on the spring. He's got 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 7 walks, 5 stolen bases. He's filling up the stat sheet left and right. He's tied for the team league in hits with Wilson Contreras with 14. Meanwhile, the guys he's competing against for a spot is Michael Ciani. Again, we appreciate Michael Ciani's help last year. We rooted for him. We loved him. But he's not a good hitter. He's just not a good hitter. He's hitting 114 this spring. He does not have a home run. He's got 1 RBI. He's only walked 5 times, and he's got 1 stolen base. This is not a battle anymore. It is over. Victor Scott is the better player this spring. Period. End of story. There is nothing else to talk about. Now, Jordan Walker. And this is where things get complicated. Jordan Walker, who granted has missed time with the knee issue, has done almost as little as Michael Ciani. It's not like Jordan Walker was having this great spring, had the hiccup with the knee and the sprinkler thing, and has been slowed since that. He hasn't done much anyway. He's got 3 hits this spring. 3. He's hitting 136. He has 0 home runs. He's got 2 RBIs. He's only walked twice, and he struck out 11 times. What about those numbers are showing you that he deserves to be on this opening day roster? I know you like him. I like him too. I'm not rooting against Jordan Walker. But my focus is winning games at the major league level. And at this point, and I know it's spring training, and people are gonna, well, the numbers of spring training don't matter. Whatever. Who's looked better at the plate? Who looks like a better player right now? And we're making all these concessions so that Jordan Walker can be in the lineup. We're moving Newt to center field, not his best position. He's better in the corners, right? So now we're going to put him in center field. We're going to risk him getting injured more because center field is a more demanding outfield position. We're going to do that to make room for Jordan when the production isn't there yet. It's just not. Meanwhile, Victor is over here destroying these guys in production. He and Newt together have had awesome springs. But instead, the guys hitting 136 and 114 are going to make the roster, and the guy hitting 359 is possibly going back to Memphis because you've already promised things to the right fielder that it doesn't matter if you stink, we're going to put you in there and just let you sink or swim. Because you promised that already? Like, why does it hurt Jordan Walker to go to Memphis, especially coming off the knee thing, to just get his swing right? And then when you're ready, you bring him up and he's your starting right fielder. Why is that such a bad thing? The Cardinals are a very left-handed heavy team, right? Losing a right-handed bat like Jordan Walker with the ceiling of Jordan Walker, not something you really want to do. I understand that. And most of us believe that Jordan is going to be really good and want him in the lineup every day. I do. So if we can't do anything with Jordan Walker's spot, what about Nolan Gorman's? Nolan Gorman has certainly looked better in recent games. They want him to play every day. But because you couldn't move Nolan Arenado, we're stuck. What if Gorman would DH some? Donnie goes to second, Newton left, Scott in center, Walker in right. That's going to squeeze Alec Burleson out of at-bats. I get that. But can we not figure out a way to balance this so that someone who has clearly earned a spot on your roster is the fastest guy on your roster, ability to change games with his speed, is one of the best defenders on your roster? Right now, you've got a second baseman playing left field. You've got a corner outfielder playing center field. Instead of somebody who plays center field really well, won a Gold Glove in the minor leagues, pretty darn good, has had an outstanding spring offensively, but you're going to push him down to Memphis because you promised these other two guys that no matter how bad things are, you will get those at-bats. Doesn't seem really fair to Victor Scott, does it? And you don't want him on the bench, not playing every day. So here we are, where Michael Ciani might be on this team instead of Victor Scott. And it just sucks. It sucks. Because that's not your best team. It's not. And there's no way to figure out or balance it so Victor Scott's helping you win games in St. Louis instead of down at Memphis. There's no way to figure this out. Nothing we can do, right? Cardinals also got another outstanding start from Steven Matz today. I want to talk about it because it's nice. It's good news. We'll get into it next on Locked On Cardinals. When it comes to fueling your body, quality matters. That's why Just Ingredients is changing the game with clean, high-quality products designed to support better health and peak performance. Just Ingredients offers an NSF-certified line of protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure that they're free from substances that are banned by, like, the major athletic organizations. So you're not getting in trouble if you're an athlete in college and who wants to get busted for that stuff? Nobody. They got ingredients in there that are legal. So good and so well put together that Just Ingredients is also partnered with two-time MVP Bryce Harper, and he trusts them. He trusts their NSF certified sports line to fuel his training and recovery. One thing you'll appreciate about Just Ingredients is their clean and transparent ingredients that they use. They prioritize wholesome, nourishing ingredients without the artificial junk. I'll tell you this. I'm a huge fan of the pre-workout. Strawberry limeade is my flavor. You mix it with 8 ounces of water, and believe me when I tell you, you're going to feel the difference. Like, look at this is the little package it comes in. If you're ever dragging before the gym, which most of us aren't like, woo, can't wait to get to the gym. Normally you're like, got to go to the gym. I got to get my workout in. Pre-workout. 1 scoop, 8 ounces of water. You'll be set to attack the treadmill, the weights, whatever it is you're going to be doing. I promise you. The stuff is awesome. So whether you're recovering from a workout or you just need that energy boost, like I'm talking about, to get you through the rest of your workday, they're grass-fed, whey protein and pre-workout. They deliver real results. I use it, and I love it. Visit justingredients.us and use code LOCKEDONMLB for 20% off. And for more wellness tips, follow @just.ingredients on Instagram.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the bracket breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On Fantasy Baseball podcast with hosts Dominic Martino and Matthew Onay. MLB Fantasy Draft Season, it's here. I've already done a couple of drafts myself. Be the most informed fan and set yourself up to win your league. Find Locked On Fantasy Baseball on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. So Steven Matz gets the ball on Wednesday against the Nationals, and it went about as well as it could for the veteran left-hander. First off, he's healthy, able to make his team-leading 5th start of the spring, and according to the telecast, feels as good as he's ever felt to begin a season. Great. Love to hear that. We bag on Matz, at least I do, for getting hurt as much as he does. Same thing with Newt. We talk about bubble wrap and all the things that we need to do to protect these guys. They get hurt playing baseball, though. It's not like they're slicing up their own hands with hunting knives. Hello, Mike Matheny. We're getting run over by tart machines. Hello, Vince Coleman. And when Steven Matz is healthy, he's a capable major league starting pitcher. He's not a star or anything. But he does offer the Cardinals rotation something that nobody else can of the starting pitchers in the mix, and that's the fact that he's left-handed. Gray, Fetty, Michaelis, Palante, McGreevy, they're all righties. Is it the end of the world to have an all right-handed rotation? No. But it is nice to be able to give the opposition a different look. You know, when you're in a 3-game, maybe even a 4-game series, and you're coming at them with right-handers who all throw similar stuff, it's nice to be able to move things around and, throw a lefty at them. And Matz can do that. Wednesday, he was outstanding. 6 innings. He allows 1 run on 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 2. Spring ERA down to 2.29. But again, healthy. That's the key with Steven Matz. Always has been, always will. The 1 run that the Nats did get off of him on Wednesday came when Dylan Cruz, one of the top prospects of baseball, smashes just a frozen rope into right center field that that Victor Scott almost caught it, almost made a great running catch, smacks into the wall, and I'm like, no, don't get hurt, Victor. And if you ask Victor Scott, I bet he'd tell you he should have caught that one. I thought he had it. I thought it was in his sights, off his glove, but with cruise speed, he ends up getting a triple, and then Matz spikes a changeup in the next at bat against the next hitter. Cruz scores, but that was it. That's how they got their run. Other than that blip, he was efficient. He attacked the zone, and like I said, healthy. Appeared to be ready to be a member of this rotation. No matter how much we bitch and moan and say Michael McGreevy should be in there, we've seen enough of Steven Matz. They're not going to do it. They're just not. It's not, unless they go to a 6-man rotation or somebody gets hurt. Michael McGreevy is on the outside looking in on this rotation right now. Just the way it is. Ryan Helsley got another inning of work in, got a couple of ground outs, gave up a double to Jacob Young, who's a fine young player, very good defensively, speed, doubled on a breaking ball. But then he strikes out Nunez to end the inning. Sitting at 98, I know there was a lot of talk about his velo early on in spring, and people were like, oh, no, he's not throwing all that hard. He was sitting comfortably at 98. He did hit triple digits on one of his four-seam fastballs today. Hasn't given up an earned run since his very first appearance of the spring against the Mets on February 24th. Safe to say, Hell's Bells is ready to go. Edwin Nunez and Andre Granillo close things out for the Cardinals with 2 scoreless innings. Granillo struck out the side in the 9th, now has 9 punchies and 4 innings of work. And I know he's not on a lot of people's radar, but he's 6'4", he's 250, he's 24 years old. Could end up being a solid depth piece in the bullpen at some point. I know they're really excited about Nunez's arm, but he's further away. Granillo, somebody that I'm just saying, I'm put him in the back of your mind, put him on the shelf, save him for a little bit later, because he's somebody that I think you're probably going to see in a Cardinals uniform at some point this year. You know, the way that injuries happen and you get into double headers and all this stuff, I think he's somebody just to keep an eye on. He's had some pretty good success in the minor leagues, and he just doesn't get a lot of fanfare for the job that he does. But we've had our eye on him every day. I've been talking about it for 2 years now. So just keeping you observant of what's going on. Andre Granillo, somebody that might be a piece for the Cardinals this year. Overall, the Cardinals moved to 11-12 this spring. They get the day off on Thursday before doing split squad games on Friday against the Astros in Jupiter. And then they travel to Port St. Lucie again to face the Mets. Scheduled starters are Sonny Gray and Michael McGreevy. Sonny's supposed to go against Houston because, you know, he's a veteran, so he doesn't have to travel. And McGreevy will be on the road on the bus, headed to go take on the New York Mets. So tomorrow we're going to have Thomas Cobain scheduled to join us. He's got some bold predictions for things that he's hoping to see of the Cardinals in 2025. We'll also get his opinions on how he would fix this thing with Victor Scott. I know his feelings on Steven Matz and Michael McGreevy, but we'll get his thoughts on that as well. So make sure you join us tomorrow. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio, TikTok at Locked On Cardinals, and Instagram, of course. Like, subscribe on YouTube, help our channel, and love for the Cardinals grow. You guys are the best fans in baseball for a reason, and we will see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.